Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do get started, let me go ahead and give a brief little review. In the last part, we had a number of events happening. Now, Deku, he was dealing with quite a lot. Right now, he still needs to figure a few things out. He was designing and hearing about a compound from Nezu over at UA. Right now, Rei Todoroki, she is helping to design it. And she is taking inspiration for this compound based off of what Endeavor built for one of their compounds. Now, this does mean quite a lot. Deku, last night, aka, he had a small chat with Yumi. He even talked to Nana Shimura. He was going over a lot of things in his mind. Number 1, he has a daughter. Number 2, what it will take to protect that baby girl. And number 3, exactly if life as her father is really that safe for her. He's done a lot of things in just the last year to gain a lot of enemies. And that is a lot. He literally took down 5 cities and a mafia boss. On live television, people saw him toss that guy around. He was concerned. If someone does try to mess with him, he will make things quite clear. Some people are already terrified enough when they do see him. People respect him, fear him, and even try to get in his good graces. He even still does have to deal with that one little annoying thing that even happened all the way back whenever he was first brought into the Yagi family. Some women think that they can seduce him. And unfortunately, that is something that is still around. Now, while it does seem more prevalent, Deku also was trying to deal with Fuyumi, who thinks of some very complicated feelings and thoughts in her own mind. Yeah. She isn't even sure how to react to most of it. She tried talking to Deku, and Deku, while he did somewhat blow her off, he told her to try and figure things out for herself. Now, along with that, he went out to have lunch with his... not lunch. He went out to have dinner with his friends. And he talked to Toru about the spy situation over in Ryoko's territory. Toru, she was able to give Deku some answers to some questions he had. And Deku, he did inform the entire table when everyone arrived about the situation. He has a daughter. That part wasn't surprising. What was surprising is the fact that he plans to bring Kimi back to Yagi territory. Mirko, she was somewhat able to brush off that first one. That second one, she tried to brush off. And while she did remain somewhat composed, during the dinner, he did notice that it did somewhat annoy her. She said that she doesn't want to mess up a good thing with what him and her have going on, but Deku's beginning to suspect that it might be rubbing her the wrong way. Whenever everyone did begin to part ways, Mirko invited him back to her place. And the two, they did go over a few things just a little bit more. Deku told her the full story about what happened. And she was a little surprised hearing about how Ryoko might actually have her people on their side. Deku, he got an oath from Ryoko, and that does mean a lot. When she did ask Deku questions about if he can actually trust this girl, Deku confirmed that he can. He felt it in his gut. And while that did want to make her laugh, she did give Deku a bit of a warning. This girl burned him once, and it might be his emotions, but to be careful. And that Deku, he did understand. He left the next morning and still had a lot to prepare. He did order a few different things that would be brought to his house. He's still got to figure out the compound, still got to find out where he's going to put it, and, well, just deal with a lot of other things. He's thinking deep in the forest. Find a patch of land that is far enough away, and he can build a road to. Build a massive, massive fence around that area, and he'll know who's coming in and who's coming out. It's still a complicated thing, but slowly but surely he is beginning to get advice from Rei. And Fuyumi, she has begun to give him a bit of the cold shoulder. Now, he has been in contact with Kami. And Kami, while she hasn't exactly been rushing the goodbyes, she has been spending some more time with her friends. And Deku, that's a little odd. Him sitting down outside in the patio. And he does a look out into the city. He's pretty far away, but he can still see it, even from his big old ivory tower. He does a look down and see his pool, along with the area around it that is used for a party. It's still a little weird. I mean, he is questioning himself just a bit, but he does feel sure about himself. He's mentally checked himself to make sure this is actually the right decision, that this is what he does want to do. I mean, bringing Kimi back is the right choice. He has someone who cares about him. Mirako is definitely a good thing, but I mean, it's not exactly a real relationship the more you just gotta think about it. They do hang out, they do chat, they do fight, they do spar. They do bond, just a little differently. Him scrolling through his phone and going to drink the cup of espresso that one of his maids brought him this morning. And he does let out a bit of a sigh. Kendo was definitely right about the espresso maker. That thing is fucking amazing. Though, he does have a few more things he does need to deal with. Him standing up and turning his head, looking out into the forest. Yeah, it does mean a bit, though. He needs to work out, figure things out there. Talk with Muscular and maybe spar with him. He does still need to get stronger. Him bring up his espresso and going to sip. Danger sense going off. And Deku, his eyes will open up as he has looked down at the mug before turning to look out in the forest. That's odd. What was that? Him circling the area with his eyes. Before he does see a glint in the distance. And he does stare directly at it. Before Danger Sense does go off again. This time it blaring that direction has immediate danger. And Deku, he does bring his hand up. Right now him activating full cowling at 45%. And he does go to catch something in the air that does move directly for his head. As he does go to grab it and go to feel it punch into his hand. Right now, it spinning slowly as it does mean a stop. And Deku, he does go to hold up his hand, opening it and staring at a bullet. A big bullet. It's the size of his goddamn finger. And that Deku does a turn, looking out into the forest and staring directly where he saw it before. Right now, Danger Sense does go off again. And Deku, he does go to duck. Right now, the window behind him does go to suffer from a massive crack. Him turning his head and looking up at that. And he does go to hear a voice. Right now, someone yelling. Did they get him? And his perimeter alarms do begin to go off. Right now, them talking about it. Shit, he has them. Can they get it? Yeah, I got it. Just hold on a second. Dude, hurry up. It's complicated. Listen, I don't expect it to be easy. Right now, smokescreen blasting out. And Deku, he does go to turn, throwing open the door and yelling for them to get to the goddamn safe room. And this does alarm them. Rei was already moving, and she turned to yell at a few different people. Them confused, as right now there is where the chef does go to turn. Right now, them pulling the pot off of heat and going to set it aside. They were going to cook up something nice this morning. And with the bacon, it is already done. They were going to use the oil for something else. And Deku does a rip the door closed and go to turn back. Right now, him going to leap over the railing as he does a dodge through the air. Another bolt flying through his Deku does to land. Him turning and bringing his hand up, grabbing someone directly by the throat and holding them up. As he does get a turn. Right now, another person, they do a turn looking at Deku, beginning to fire as the person Deku's holding does it to harden their skin. And the person, they do go to bring up their hands to try and grab Deku. Danger sense going off. Him smashing his right fist directly into their body armor and sending them flying backwards, as they go flying through the air and crashing across the ground. Deku, he does a look around. Danger sense going off as soon as a slam directly into his side. And when he does go to turn, he does go to feel pain shoot through one of his ribs. And the person does a leap backwards and away. Deku looking around and bringing out Black Whip. Before he does get to hear the sound of a sniper go off again. And he does a turn and go to dodge. Right now, someone yelling out that they're in the area, stop firing! And he does a turn looking around. He heard that voice. Where are they? Someone going to kick him as hard as they can into the back of the neck. And Deku, when he does feel that, he does a spin and turn. Right now, his momentum carrying him as he does a fall into the pool. And when that does happen, he does go to use One for All. Right now, him blasting himself into the air as everyone, they did start to move their way towards the house. And someone, they were already at the damn door. Right now, yelling about what needs to happen. The guy that they're dealing with, shit, he has more than one quirk. Are you serious? Yeah, though we got him. We should be fine. Them going to open the door and move in. Right now, the person rushing over and talking about it, throwing their hand directly onto the panel, and beginning to try and access the entire system. Shut everything down. Shut it all off. That should be good. And when the alarms do to finally stop, they do look around the house. And it is good. The house is basic. Basic walls, reinforced though, so this is a pretty high setup. Okay, so their targets. Where are they? The Todoroki should be around here somewhere. Right now, Deku, he does come back into the room. And he does go to stare at them, angry. Him turning and slamming the door closed, locking it, and telling all of them. They really decided to pick the wrong fucking day to piss him off. Him staring at a group of people who are currently in his living room. And he does it tell all of them. They do know who he is, right? One of them going to fly towards him as he does shrink. Deku was staring at that, throwing up his hand and throwing out Black Whip. It shooting out and wrapping the man up. As Deku, he does rotate his fist and go to fly forwards. Him slamming one of them directly across the face and feeling their reinforced body going to give. Them flying over and crashing directly into the wall. And he does a turn, watching someone bolt down the hallway as the Technomancer does a turn and go to bring up a weapon. Right now them firing to get Deku, who does go to vanish. Before he does bring his hand up and grab them by their throat, smash them directly against the wall and expressing, who the hell are they? Then bring up a knife, and Deku does grab their hand before turning their arm and breaking it. And they do it a rot in pain. Who the hell are they? There's 5 of you. Him turning and not seeing anyone else. The guy he just threw against the wall. Perfect. He's still there. The tiny guy. Good. He's still there. Wrapped up in Black Whip. And he does bring Black Whip over and grab the small man by his body. Expressing, either right now he's going to answer some questions or he's going to make him eat his goddamn friend. Green hair. Scar on the right side of his face. Forehead. Green eyes. Black hair. What? Enough of this. Deku smash them in the gut and going to walk away. Them falling forwards as someone on the other end does ask more questions. Deku bending down and picking up the earpiece, ripping it out of their ear, putting it in his own, and hearing a voice. Is that all the data you can provide? Listen, the targets are the Todorokis. Come on, you can't mess us up. This guy shouldn't be that hard to kill. You'd be surprised. Who is this? Where's Tommy? Tommy is currently bleeding all over my carpet. Now, where are your other 2 allies? Is this an open line? I'll tell you right now, if I do need to, I will crush the tiny guy. Or I can deal with the guy who feels sturdy. Now, where are the other 2? Who are you? You broke into my house. You should know who I am. The woman going to turn and going to express. Right now, covering the microphone, they sent the information. And the person does try to find visual matches for who the hell Tommy managed to describe. And Deku, he does going to make his way through his house, trying to find the other 2. Trying to find the people who broke in. Okay. Now, where is he? Right now, Deku, he does find Muscular. Muscular, he was in the gym. And he currently is beating the shit out of some guy laying on the ground. And he does continue to smack him upside the head and face. Before Deku does a turn asking Muscular if the others are okay. Yeah, they went to the panic room. They all got in. Though, I don't know where everyone else is at. Deku, he does get a look around. And he does feel a little annoyed. 5 people came in. Didn't they? Him bring his finger up to the earpiece. We already took care of 4 of your guys. Now either you talk or things get a little bit more brutal. There's only one of you left. Which one is it? The what was his ability? I don't know. Some bullshit with blades. Oh, the blade guy is already dead. Right now, I've got your tiny guy, the guy with the hard ability, and your tech guy. By my counts, that's 4. Where's your 5th? I know you can hear me. You're Izuku Midoriya? So you finally figured out whose house this is. Where are you? I'm not saying anything. I'm in contact with the 5th member of our team. They know this is your house. They've taken a hostage. Bullshit. The hostages are in the panic room. Alright, well, if you want to play games then, this little bastard, I'm more than happy to do what I need to. And pulling out his phone and going to call Fiyumi. And when she does it pick up, he does it to ask if they're all okay. We're fine. What's happening? I mean, why did we have to come in here? Is anyone acting odd? No? Are you all in the room? Yes. Good. Deku going to express. Right now, stay there. Someone else is still in the house. They've got to get that figured out. Him going to walk back out into the living room and express to the person after hanging up that right now 3 of their guys are still alive. Let's make this quite a bit easier. Walking over into the kitchen, looking at what's happening here, and trying to think. Before he does, take the pot, or the pan, that does still have grease in it, and put it back on the stove before turning it on. Walking back over, and going to stare at the tech guy who is still passed out. Coming back into the kitchen, getting some cold water, walking out and dumping it on the guy. And he does a turn, staring at the guy who does have the hardening ability. He is still trying to figure out what to do. Right now, the guy with the tech ability, he does a jump awake when he does get hit with water. And he is greeted by the sight of Deku holding his miniature friend. And he does start to talk about it. Now, he's going to make something very clear. Bending down to a knee, the person trying to bring up their good hand. Deku stopping them with his black whip. Right now it shooting out and pinning that arm to the wall. Them roaring out in pain. The miniature person saying something that Deku does start to ignore. Right now, they have 3 options. He is going to give them 3 chances. He wants the 5th person out here now. And if they aren't out here by the time the 3rd one of them is dead, he is going to go through his house and tear apart everything. So, they're going to play a bit of a game. Black Whip pulling away from the guy's arm. Him dragging the guy with the hardening ability over, as Muscular does ask the boss what they're doing. And Deku does express, throwing the guy with the hardening ability into the wall. That, him sliding down it, they're going to play a bit of a game. Right now, they're going to toss that guy at the wall to see how long it takes before he goes through, or something bad happens. As for this guy, well, they're going to see how hard he can actually take a hit. What are you doing? Oh, that's simple. Him grabbing the Technomancer by the hair. And Deku does make sure, turning it in his hand to get a good grip, headbutting the man with the hardening ability in the head with his friend. And he does do this over and over. The man with the hardening ability does roar out angry, telling him that that's not going to work. He won't talk. And Deku does slightly grin, smashing the man over and over and over again. And the small guy, yeah, he doesn't really get much talk. He does try to say something, though he does choke up halfway through. Rhino, him, watching the grisly scene up until things go bad. And he does a turn, dropping the man onto the floor, turning to the guy with the hardening ability and talking about it. Now, Muscular, him turning, picking the man up by his shoulders and pulling him up and into the kitchen. Deku turning and walking that way, holding up the tiny guy, expressing. Now, it's his turn. Can he take a guess as to what's going to happen? Deku holding him by the legs and putting his thumb down onto his hip. Before he does, it'll hold him directly over the sizzling pan of bacon grease. And the man, he does immediately get a turn. Rhino him grabbing at Deku's hand and trying to pry his thumb off. And he does express, okay, he'll talk. And Deku does stare at him. Before the man, he does start to sweat, quite literally, and begin to talk about it. Okay, fine. Hey, are you there? I'm here. Listen, the targets, I can't get to them, but I'll find them. I just need more time. Can you buy me more time? Tommy's dead. Listen, this is Izuku Midoriya's house. I know, if I can take a hostage, then he's about to kill me. Get out here now. We might be able to bargain with him. It's Izuku Midoriya. You can't bargain with a horseman. Bullshit. The Todorokis are still alive. You can bargain with him. Get out here. Please. Tell her she has 30 seconds. He's giving you 30 seconds. Please, come on, just get out here. Find another person on the other end of the line. They do try to think about what to do. And it doesn't seem good. It doesn't. Fuck. They really picked the wrong day, didn't they? Though, if they can possess him, that's a good option too. Them going to turn and heading back towards the living room. Deku expressing 5, 4, 3, 2, I'm here. A woman stepping out. Right now her body, it does go to turn visible. Deku turning and glaring at that. Who are you? I'm here. Listen, we didn't know it was your place. Had we known, we wouldn't have broken in. Is that true? Yes. Listen, it's complicated. Sounds like it. Deku going to turn. And right now, he does go to reach down and go to rotate his wrist more. He does have Fajin stored up. He's never used it. Right now, him going to use Black Web, covering his fingers and getting ready. He needs to be quick on the draw. They broke into his house. And that sniper? Yeah, he's still out in the woods. There's more of them out there. Right. Good. Him going to throw up his hand and slash it out. And the woman, she does try to move. Right now, her turning invisible, but a massive slash of the air spraying blood does it a fly. Right now, her roaring out in pain as the tiny man, he does a scream. Deku turning back and going to cover his hand in Black Whip, smashing him down into the pan. And the sizzle, oh boy, the sizzle. It does go to roar through the kitchen. Right now, Deku turning off the heat as he does it await. And after about half a minute, he does gonna pull his hand out, shaking Black Whip free of the grease. Deku turning to the man Muscular's holding, who does still watch his miniature friend sizzle away in a pan. And Deku, he does gonna narrow his eyes, staring at the man, before expressing, now, giving him a smile, pulling the earpiece out of his ear and asking one very simple question. Who's on the other end of these? Answer that question and I won't make you eat your friend. There are the rest of our team. Where are they? Someone shot at me. More than once. Now, who are you people? Yeah, I'm me. Muscular, I think you need to grab something. Then again, hold his mouth open. I'll talk. Please don't. Then talk. You broke into my house. You're really lucky my daughter isn't here. Because if you broke in whenever she was here, that'd be a different story. I would force you to eat that before asking you that question. I hope you understand that. I'll talk. Just Robertson shot at you. He doesn't know who you are. The rest of our team, they're nearby where his position is. Are you gonna kill me? No. You've been very helpful. Now, Muscular, I want you to play that game. Throw him at that wall right there. And whenever I get back, I want to see him get back up. Don't kill him. Don't throw him too hard. But you're going to play a game. Those walls cost me $350 million. You're going to see how strong they are. He's got a reinforced body. So see if he breaks or the wall breaks first. I expect you to keep playing that game before, well, to keep playing it when I get back. Yes, boss. Good. Deku grabbing the man, turning and flinging him directly at the wall. And he does a crash into it with a noise Deku wasn't expecting to hear. Right now, him slumping to the ground as he does a turn, walking towards the back door and going to blast off. Right now, him flying through the air as Deku, he does go to try and find where they are. And when he does see something sitting in the woods, he does go to bring his hands up. Right now, him going to send out punches that do to slow him down. And he does it to float there up in the air. Right now, going to slam himself down directly into the ground. It booming and shaking as he does it to send everything flying. Right now, some sort of truck, it does go to roll. And Deku, he does completely stand back up. Right now, him still in his somewhat wet shirt. And he does get a look around. Right now, slowly making his way over towards the truck. And someone, they do go to fire at the back as Deku, he does go to hop backwards on his left foot. Right now, them trying to see about what is going to happen. And Deku does bring a hand up, slicing the truck in half with a blade of air. Before it does go to push backwards and go to creak and roar. Deku using Black Whip to pull one side of the truck away. Before he does stare at the guts of a few systems. Right now, a mobile command center, it was inside the truck. Not too bad of an idea, honestly. Though, whenever he does see a person sitting there on the ground, he does gonna turn, narrowing his eyes as he does a turn looking at a woman who does come crawling out holding a gun. And she does have a look of fear and blood pooling from the side of her head. Her wearing a headset. And Deku does get a glance at her, asking where the person who her firing. And Deku does whip the bullet right out of the air. Who shot at him? Robertson. Where is he? Another shot going to ring out. Danger sense going off his Deku, he does go to this time turn and go to burst to the right out of the way, deciding that using gear shift is a bad idea. Right now, he could try to use it. If he overuses it once, that is a small bit of recovery. Then again, a sniper in the trees. Rounds like this aren't too good. Right. Him stepping in and grabbing the woman, holding her up and expressing Robertson. And he does hold her up in the direction of the shot, expressing, Here, take a shot now. Come on, he knows he wants to. Come on, he's worth over $2 billion. They broke into his house. His head's worth a lot of money. Come on now. The woman bring her hands up, trying to claw at the arm holding her in the air. And Deku doesn't hear a shot. The man coming out and holding up his hands. Right now, the gun on his back, Deku does a C, expressing, toss it. Him going to unclip the leather bandolier, holding the gun on. And the massive hunk of metal does drop to the ground. And Deku does get a stare at that thing. Sweet mother of fuck, that's huge. Black Whip flying over and going to pick it up. Deku feeling it in his hand and going to just stare at it. This is a long rifle. I mean, shit. He's pretty sure he can fucking hunt elephants or dinosaurs with this thing. What are you trying to shoot through? Maybe All Might. Jesus. Him turning back to the sniper. The massive beefcake of a guy. He does go to still keep his hands up, but slowly begin to lower them. Deku talking about it, snapping the woman's neck, dropping her to the ground, and expressing, Anyone else? The man roaring forwards in a rage. And Deku, he does gonna smack the man across the head as hard as he physically can without killing him. The man is sent tumbling and rolling into the side, before Deku does drag him back to his house for a proper interrogation. And Muscular, he is still playing that game a few minutes later. Deku, he does show this massive brute of a guy exactly what's happening. And the man, he does it a watch. Right now, Deku flinging him at the wall to join his friend. And ask him question after question after question after question. Deku and Muscular flinging these two at the wall. And it isn't until Deku does hear that no one else is coming after the Todorokis that he does gonna finally start figuring something out. They didn't come here to kill him. They seemed surprised it was his house. That he knew, that he figured out already. Okay, So, there's that. Good. Right now, Deku, he does go to kill this man and turn to the last remaining person here, expressing, bending down and grabbing the man by his neck, holding him up. Right now, he's going to be the last person alive. He's the only person who stepped into his house and walked out because he allowed it. Now, he should consider himself lucky that he gets to live. Though, he's going to make sure he does remember this. Deku ripping one of the man's eyes out of his skull. And when the man does start to scream and beg, Deku, he does continue to pull. Before he finally does toss the man back to the ground in a puddle of his own blood, turning and expressing to Muscular. Call someone. He's gotta sort all this out. Shit, he's gotta call Kimi. Him going to walk over and wash his hands, not only of the situation, but of blood. And when he does go walking towards the panic room, he does input the code and go to open the door. Right now, Fumi does want to rush out and see what's going on. Deku putting a hand up in front of the doorway and expressing, right now they should go back to their rooms. Are you okay? What happened out there? Someone's after you two. I got a bit of information. Though, I still need to go back and check the truck. Right now, though, we need a bit of help. Muscular's gonna move the bodies. Bodies? Yeah. There's a lot of blood in the living room. And the gym. So there's that. Ray, go back to your room. We're involved in the situation. Fumi, go back to your room. No. I've grown up around this. I've seen it before. Trust me. You want to spin this correctly. Spin it correctly? You were the targets. They knocked me in my own goddamn pool and nearly blew my head off. Right now, Deku leaning forwards, right in her face. Go to her room. This situation's going to be cleaned. They're not going to see it. This is his house. It's supposed to be safe. A place no one should touch. And he needs to get them out. He doesn't want them to see this. His tones aren't relaxing. He doesn't want this again. Not again. Not here. Her looking at Deku. He does have a look on his face that is concerning. Turning and going to leave. He needs to deal with quite a bit. He does go to call Kami and tell her about how his morning started. She is a little alarmed, not happy about it. She thought that Deku was the target, until he mentions that Fuyumi and Rei Todoroki, they were the targets. And that certainly does mean quite a bit. He does reach out to the family, and the family, upon confirming his identity, do hear about Deku's problems. He needs waste disposal and a cleaning team. And when they do go to ask him questions about what happened, he does inform them. He'll send the footage to the family. He does have a security room. And after that, he needs them to get here. He had things to do today, and he was expecting guests. He needs them to come out here now. Clean this now. Handle it now. This is a lot to deal with. And the person, they do understand. Hesitating and telling Mr. Midoriya about the fee he may need to pay. Deku expressing, if they can get those people out here now and handle this before noon, he will pay triple, or even 5 times that amount. And he does have one question. Does she get a commission? No, Mr. Midoriya, I don't. Then, make sure you note this call. Inform Sir Night-Eye. You get a piece of the pie. Contact them. Tell them I have leather, I have walls that need to be scrubbed, and I have floors that need to be cleaned. Along with that, I want the most thorough motherfuckers you can send. Now. Him hanging up. And Izuku, he does go to sit down after a second, letting out a stressful breath and being annoyed. Those people he ordered, they do come to his property. And when they do to arrive, oh boy, they are thorough. And he does mean thorough. Someone started blasting bubbles all around everything. And Deku, while he did feel a bit annoyed watching the blood get spread around, he saw the fruits of their labor. One of them was running around like the fucking Tasmanian devil with a bunch of different supplies. But the results did speak for themselves. Especially since what he saw, it took about maybe an hour or two, maybe even less. He really didn't care. He stopped paying attention. These people even moved the bodies and cleaned up any blood that they found. Hell, they spent another hour after he thought they were done scrutinizing everything they could find. And they didn't find much. They did inform Mr. Midoriya about their fee, and Deku did inform them that he'll contact the family to transfer funds from his account. But he does need them to go. And they did get a nod their heads, him expressing he will give them a small bonus for this as well. Them all grinning at each other, right now loading up their truck and going to go. As Deku, he does get a few different phone calls wanting to know about the situation. And he does inform everyone that he's fine. Though the agitation in his voice does come through. They can't blame him. Though Deku, he does get a shower, get changed, and try to handle everything. He does call Kami and inform her about what's going on. She's happy to hear about that, and the rest of Deku's servants, they do try to go back to business as usual. Though, whenever the chef can't find his pan, Deku does tell him to buy a new one. It was confiscated. And the man does nod his head in understanding. Right now, Deku, he does just gonna sit there, trying to unstretch his shoulders on the couch. And it does feel a little different when he does sit down on it. Though it might just be because it was cleaned. Huh, right. So there is that. Are you alright? I'm fine, Ray. Just give me a second. That was very violent. You're not used to it anymore, are you? That's not the problem. I'm too used to it. Yeah, you should have seen the boss. I mean, hell. Him turning to the wall, muscular, pointing it out. I mean, these walls are sturdy, but check it out. Him running a hand over it. Not even a dent. I mean, shit. They thought they were gonna kill that guy. Yeah, he's still alive. You left a survivor. Barely. Right now, he's being turned over to the family, along with the footage. I'm gonna have someone broadcast it. Let people know what might happen to them if they break into my house. Trying to attack people that are close to me. You sound so much like Endeavor. Is that a good thing? He was passionate about protecting people. But sometimes he overdid it. Maybe. But this is my home. It is. That's why I'm not trying to sound accusatory when I do say this. You need to figure out what's going on with you, why people are after you. My husband wronged quite a lot of people. That isn't a mystery. But very clearly, whoever is after us didn't expect you to have kept us. Yeah. Though I'm confused as to why they're striking now. I'm not certain. Then again, they may have been trying to scout out the best way to attack. So me out in sniper range. Yes, that appears to be it. Though, if I can make a suggestion, sure. Figure out who these people are associated with. And as a show of force, you take care of it. Just like that? Yes. They were organized. They were meticulous. They knew to take out your systems. They knew to get past your security. Though, someone, I'm not sure who, turned off your system. That's a flaw I think you should investigate. One of the people had a tech-based ability. I saw them turn off the system with their quirk. I see. Well, there's that. Somehow they managed to hack into your system. I see. I can ask Nezu about that. Though, their quirk might just be like that. That is a possibility, but a scary one. I know. Her gonna bring her hand out and pat Deku on the back, informing him. He did a good job, a good thing today, protecting his home. That's admirable. Don't beat himself up about it. And to take care of that girl when she does arrive. She does have a baby. His baby. Just take a breath, catch it, and relax. Right. I need to go draw. Him going to stand up and leave. Right now, heading to his office to start a sketch. Right now, Deku, he does go to somewhat draw. And he does have guest arrive just a bit of time later. Right now, he does get a message to unlock his gate. And he does going to disable the system and go to come out. The gate opening as a vehicle does going to drive in. Right now, it going to pull up into the driveway and go to open. As you do have Momo. Momo does get out of the driver's seat. Her stepping out, turning, and giving a small bow to Deku. And Deku, he does go to nod at her as he does a turn. Right now, watching a few other people get out, as you do have Intelli. Intelli does jump out. Right now, her walking over very quickly and expressing. She does want to have a conversation with him very quickly. Miss Intelli? Yes. I just had people break into my house this evening. This morning. Right now, your question is unwelcomed. I will answer it at another time. You coming along does not help my current mental state. Now, if you do want to, I can answer your question, but I don't promise to answer it truthfully. Or should I in fact actually tell you one of my abilities? See, I have this remarkable ability actually, in her turning, throwing her hands up to her ear and going to start saying la 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 as much as possible. And Deku is a bit annoyed. Before someone does come over and bonk her with a chop to her head. Right now, Mina, going to express, seriously stop. She's been annoying. She does not shut up. That sounds annoying. Kami walking over and going to hug Deku. And Deku, he does to hug her back. Right now, her holding up the carrier that does hold Yuki. And he does go to look down at her. He does somewhat relax. And his face does actually soften. Come on. There's a lot happening. Them making their way into the residence. And when they do to see the back window, they do go to stare at that. Right now, Ray's standing up and going to bow, along with Yumi. And they do to stare at them, along with the number of people in the room. But most people, they don't really seem to care. However, Deku's guests do have their eyes locked on the blonde man currently sitting on Deku's couch. And he does a turn, waving a hand and going to look back at the TV. Him drinking a protein shake. Oh, what is he doing here? That's a long story. Technically, he's a bodyguard. Technically, he's not. Though the actual bodyguards, they're retired to their room for a bit. Uh-huh. You have bodyguards? They're for those two. Anyways, that is Fuyumi and Rei Todoroki. Todoroki? Wait, you mean like the guy you killed? Yes, like the guy I killed. Just more people will arrive soon. Just make yourself at home. You need to help me with your stuff, or I have it. I got most of the stuff for Yuki. Though, I'm not sure I feel comfortable with him here. Her looking at Muscular again. And Deku does turn, telling Muscular, tell these fine young women what he told him. Yes, boss. I'm to be on my best behavior. If I'm not, then he'll turn me over to midnight. and inform her I can regenerate. Good. Now, when possible, we'll spar sometime this week. I know I need to get some of this aggression out. But earlier today, that did also do a lot to me. Are you injured? I'm fine. Just aggravated. That does sound very aggravating. It's fine. But again, just people will show up soon. And I'm sure it's going to be quite a bit of a situation. It sounds like it. Right now, a lot of people do start to run around doing different things. Food's being prepared, the car is being unloaded, and guests are coming to arrive. Deku, he's got a lot happening in his house. Though he is still waiting on Night Eye to get back to him with any information. Hell, he even reached out to Nezu. Nezu gave him what he could. But these guys weren't exactly very cooperative in trying to identify themselves. And that currently has one of them in a full body cast. The only one of them left alive. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed and have an amazing day. I will catch you guys in the next part.